Hello everyone, good morning one and all who are still sleeping, who are ready to have their breakfast. For everyone, hi. I know some of you will be watching the video in the evening, afternoon, whatever it is. So I'm saying good morning now. If at all you are watching the video in the morning session, okay. I hope everyone are doing well. Everyone are fine. Okay. Coming back to the class. So last class I've already started with a new chapter, that is NPO. What is that NPO? NPO is nothing but not for profit organization. Not for profit organization. So in this chapter I have given certain introduction about the chapter. I'll just revise with that. Not for profit organization is nothing but it is an NGO. It is working for the service. It is working on the service motive, working for the welfare of the society with no intention of earning any profits. They are not working for the profits. They are working for the social service. They are providing or rendering the services to the society for the welfare of the society. And this organization is run by the members of that particular organization. Whoever is willing voluntarily, they can become the member of that particular organization and they are going to run that particular organization. And under the members there can be certain trustees who always follow up everything, each and every activity or each and every transaction what is happening in the organization. It is followed up by the trustees who are selected by the members. Okay, just like an employees. Okay, the members will select certain trustees or employees. They can also contribute something towards the organization or they can work as an employee. Okay, for to see all the supervision has to be taken place in the organization, right? So for that purpose they will be taking this trustees. And we also spoke about the two important transactions that happen in the non-profit organization. What is that? The two important aspects that we spoke in the last class is capital and revenue. Do you remember what you mean by that capital and revenue? The two important points I told you to note it down. Did you note it down, Wafa? Veronica? I hope so you have not done. Huh? Yuvrani? Yuvashri? Nobody have done. Have you done it? The two important note regarding the capital and revenue. You should identify seeing the transaction whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure, or it can be capital receipt or revenue receipt. You should identify first the transaction. The transaction belongs to capital or revenue. It is an income or expense. That is the main reason I taught you in the last class about the capital and revenue. I'll just revise that once again. Listen carefully. Capital deals with the lump sum amount and the duration of that capital will be taken place to 5 to 10 years. It will not keep happening regularly. These transactions will not happen regularly in the organization. So that we call it as capital transactions. When it comes to the revenue transactions, those are frequently happening in the organization and it deals with very small amount. It deals with the small amount, very frequent transaction happening in the organization. It can be every month or the time duration will be within 1 year, not more than 1 year. So this we call it as revenue transactions. So I have explained you four important things, that is capital receipt, capital expenditure, revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. Now just a small glance of all these four. Capital expenditure. Capital expenditure where you are going to spend lot of money, lump sum of money together to in the concern in any transaction, that becomes the capital expenditure. For example, you are purchasing an asset. You are purchasing an asset. It can be land and building or machinery or furniture, any asset you are purchasing. So you have to put lot of amount into that. Is it right? So that expenditure, lump sum amount you are spending on one particular asset or one particular thing, and that is used for very long time. If you purchase one particular asset, that is land and building, today you are purchasing for 10 lakhs. It is a lump sum amount, where big transaction, and you will not do it that is very frequently, and that land can be used for many years. Is it right? So that becomes the capital expenditure, where lump sum amount is spent for the future benefit, and that benefit takes for the longer duration. Your benefit will be getting for longer duration. Okay. The next is capital receipt. Capital receipt is nothing but where you receive. The receipt is incomes. The firm, or sorry, the organization is receiving lump sum amount. Okay, lump sum amount for the organization purpose, and that transaction will not happen regularly. It happens once in 5 years or 3 years or more than 3 years, right? So that type of transaction we considered as capital receipt. For example, donations. So donations are the big amount. We don't know, very rarely we get the donations for the organization. Big lump sum amount we will get very rarely. So that we can consider as capital receipt. Okay. The next comes the revenue receipt. What is revenue? Revenue deals with a small income, small amount. Receipt means income. So revenue receipt, small incomes that we are earning regularly in the organization. Very frequently we are going to earn certain incomes. That becomes the revenue receipt, like commission received, salary received, interest received, rent received. All this becomes the revenue receipts. Even the entry fees. Okay, that I'll teach you later. The next is revenue expenditure. The small expenses happening in the business for the running the organization. In very frequently these transactions also will be taken place in the organization. A small expenditure like rent paid, electricity paid, newspaper bill has been paid, water bill has been paid. All these are the regular intervals we will be paying all these bills. Is it right? This transaction is very quite common in 1 year. Every year or every 6 months, every month, every 3 months once, all this will be happening. So these are the revenue expenditure transactions. Got you? I hope you understood the main basic things. You should understand these 4 important key meanings. With that only we can solve the problems. Understood? You should know which is revenue receipt, which is revenue expenditure, which comes to the capital receipt and capital expenditure. Whatever the transaction, whatever the item we are showing in the balance sheet or in the problem that you are getting in the problem, you should easily identify this belongs to capital receipt, this belongs to revenue receipt, or this is the revenue expenditure. Easily you should analyze like this. So be thorough with these 4 important keywords: capital receipt, capital expenditure, revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. You should know the meaning, as well as you should know the logically think properly and identify which belongs to which transaction belongs to which, whether it is capital or revenue. Got it? Please revise this once again. Now coming to the next topic of this chapter is, there are some of the important terminologies that we are going to use in the solving the problems. So those important terminologies have written here. I'll be sending the notes later. And these are the important terminologies we are going to use in all the problems. You should know the meaning of that. Okay. And it can be asked for 2 mark questions also. So it's better to know very well. And you should know this particular terminologies belongs to revenue receipt or capital expenditure. That also you have to analyze. So these are the basic terms that we are going to use when we are solving the problems. Now let's start with one by one with the explanation. The first one is capital fund. Now what is this capital fund? The capital fund is nothing but the difference between the assets and liability. The capital fund is nothing but the difference between assets and liability. When your assets are more than your liability, it shows your incomes and your profits are good enough than your liability. Suppose your assets are like 5 lakhs and your total liability that you have to pay for outside person is around 3 lakhs, assuming. So 2 lakhs of the extra benefit that you have as a backup. Is it right? So the capital fund is nothing but whatever the difference between the assets and liability that we found out, that becomes the capital fund. It is also taken as excess of income over the expenditure. Excess of income over the expenditure means your incomes are more than your expenditure. Such amount we will take it and keep it aside as a capital fund, or in a simple word we can say it, the difference between the assets and liability, we can make out what is the capital fund. Okay, this is the meaning of capital fund. Next comes legacies. What is this legacies? I think this word is new to you, very new to you, right? So legacies. Legacies is nothing but if any deceased person, do you remember deceased partner? Who is deceased partner? Any deceased partner, that is death of a partner, that particular chapter, do you remember? Yes, the same way, don't both are not this one and the same, okay? It is different and this is different. So the person who is physically very ill, is not feeling well, or is in the final stage of the death, or and he is voluntarily is giving his property or his money towards this organization, voluntarily is writing a will, all of his property is just giving out for that particular organization. That particular property or amount that the organization is receiving from a deceased person, from a deceased ill person, voluntarily, one particular person, any person voluntarily is writing a will about his property, whatever the property he has or the money he is having, he is just giving to the organization as a service to that particular organization, so that that organization can work for the society's welfare. So that is legacies. Any person, we have seen no many old people, they usually, if they don't have any children like that, if they are very or they are single and they have lot of money with them, lot of property, they'll just write a will making one this particular property, I'll just give it to that particular trust or any orphanage. Like this we have seen, right? That is what legacies. Any person voluntarily writing a will of his property and surrendering to this particular organization. That particular amount or the property, whatever we get it through that, we call it as legacies. Will. Will means the notice which we prepared for the property. Yes, do you remember that? Everyone knows, right? How the house or land will be transferring to one person to other person when we are selling to one person to the other person, or when we are buying something, fixed assets like land and building. So we are going to write a will, right? That is a document, stamped document. So any person is willing to give his particular property to the organization and is writing in, is given in a written document, that is a will, is given in a written document and is giving to the organization as a volunteer service. So that particular amount or the any property becomes, we call it as legacies. Legacies is a money or property gifted by a deceased person by his will, willingly, by is written in a written document, that is will, he has written and submitted and given to the organization for render the services. So that is legacies. Understood? And this becomes the capital receipt. It will be coming in the balance sheet. As I told you, capital receipt, lump sum amount, and you will receive very rarely, once in 5 years or 10 years, like that you are going to receive. So legacies belongs to capital receipt. Understood? So whoever person who is willing to give the property or something, some share of his money or his property, they can write it, they can do the written document, that is will, and they can give it to the organization useful purpose. Okay. The next is honorarium. The next is honorarium. What is this honorarium? So suppose, for example, I am taking an example of some organization. You can take sports club as a not for profit organization, just XYZ as a sports club. So in that, they usually have many people in that sports club. Many people are staying and they have membership, so many members are there. So once in a while they can have a regular checkup. They are going to call a professional doctors monthly, or 6 months once they can call a doctor, and they can have the checkup of all the sports people or the members of that particular club. They can do that. Or they can have some cultural activities. They'll call some singer or musician to sing and entertain the people over there. Some professional persons will be called to render the service for the members of that particular organization or for particular system, or on behalf of this organization can do one particular they can conduct one event. Okay, assuming the NGOs or the not for profit organization can conduct one event in the music. Okay, so they will call one particular professional singer and professional musicians, whoever is required, they will be calling them, and they will be conducting that musician program. In return, they can also collect entry ticket, all other whoever the public people are coming and whoever the members are want to watch the program, they will be collecting some minimum charges. The fees will be taken, like entry fees or like that they will be taking. Okay, and so they'll collect some money and they are going to conduct the events. All this will go ahead. The person who has come to sing in that particular event, the musicians, whoever has come, they should also be paid some money. Is it right? They are also depending on that singing and they are coming and singing for so many events. Is it right? They are the professionals. So the organization will be saying certain amount to those singers or those professionals for rendering their service to them. Are you getting me? For just an example, I have given an example of a doctor, or you can take it as a musician. Okay. So honorarium is nothing but the organization, NPO, not for profit organization, will be showing their gratitude in terms of money paying to the professionals for their service rendered. Organization is going to show their gratitude by paying some certain sum money for the professionals who are going to render their service to the organization. Now professionals means who? There are many professionals: doctors, musicians, teachers, lawyers. All this comes under the professionals only, right? So if you take any club, for example, I have taken sports club. So you need a doctor for that. Every 6 months or once in a year you can take a doctor will be called, and they are going to have a regular checkup for all the members of the organization. Suppose, okay. So we need to pay some gratitude, some money for that doctor. Is it right? To check everyone's of the members of all the that particular club will be having all sort of checkup will be done by the doctor. We have to pay some money for the doctor for whatever the service he is giving. Is it right? So whatever the organization is paying for that particular doctor, professional doctor, that amount we call it as honorarium. The services rendered by the professionals. Services rendered by the professionals to the organization. For that, the organization will be paying certain money in the form of gratitude. In the form of gratitude, that we call it as honorarium. Okay, it can be a doctor, or if it is, they can, if they are running any cultural events they have undertaken, and they have given so many cultural activities, dance, singing, so many actors they have called for to entertain the members of the organization. So what happens? They have, after the people who have come to entertain, they need some money. Is it right? They work for the money. So organization will be giving certain some portion of money as a gratitude for them who was going to entertain the members. Okay. So those professionals who are coming and rendering their services to the organization. The organization in return, they show their gratitude by paying certain sum of money. Certain sum of money will be paid by the organization to the service renders, that is the professionals. That is the professionals. I am mentioning this professional, gratitude, some words I am repeating again and again. Please note it down. Okay. So honorarium is nothing but the service rendered by the professionals to the organization, and the organization will be paying certain portion of amount as a gratitude towards the professionals. That we call it as honorarium, and this we consider as revenue expenditure. This is an expense to the organization because it is paying to the professionals. Is it right? And this will be happening once in a year. Every year they will have a doctor. If it is sport club, they will be having a doctor's checkup. Okay, physical fitness will be checked. Or else once in a year they can have a entertainment program, cultural events. We are seeing many clubs, many trusts, many other charitable trustees and all. We are seeing, no, every year one or the other program they will organize. Is it right? For them, the members of that particular organization to have some entertainment. So like that, it is an every year process it takes place. So it becomes the revenue expenditure. Honorarium is a certain sum of amount paid through as a gratitude towards the professionals for their service rendered to the organization. Hope I am not confusing you. Am I confusing you? I am making it clearly. I am explaining again and again. Don't get confused. Okay. I will tell you once again. Honorarium is the gratitude, certain sum of money paid in the form of gratitude towards the professionals for their service rendered to the organization. Okay, and this is a once in every year or once in 1 year it will be conducted. So it will become the revenue expenditure. Hope you understood. Sorry if I am confused and repeating again and again. Okay. Next comes the entrance fees. So everyone knows what is entrance fees. If you want to get inside a park, you have to pay entrance fee. And if you want to get inside any museum, you need to pay entrance fees. All these things are there. Similarly, when you want to enter this organization as a member, it is not permanent member, as a member, it can be a temporary membership. Okay. So as a member, when you want to enter into this organization, you need to pay certain sum of money. So that we call it as entrance fee. Okay. Entrance fee is paid by the members who want to enter into the organization for temporary basis. And this becomes the revenue receipt. This transaction becomes the revenue receipt, because many people will be coming in to the organization to enter into the organization to serve the society. They may serve the society for 6 months or 1 year, or they can take lifetime membership also. So here for time they can enter into the organization. They want to see how it is running, all those things. For simple things, if you want to enter the organization, you need to pay the entrance fees. So they become the member of that particular organization. Okay. So that is entrance fees, which is revenue receipt. Okay, why it is an income? It is an income for the organization. If someone outside person want to become a member in your organization, you will ask him, give the admission fee. It can also called as admission fee, entrance fee or admission fee. So you are going to take some fee and then you allow him to organization. So that is an income for the organization. So that is revenue receipt. Okay. Next, moving on to the specific fund. Specific funds. So specific funds means in the name itself it is going to have specified purpose. It is the amount is huge but it is not used at once. Okay, the amount is huge, the amount is big, lump sum amount. Specific fund means it is a lump sum amount, but when you are using that particular fund, it will not be used at once, it will be used little every year or every 2 years once, like that. It is a combination. Again, it is a capital, it is in the form of capital, but it is spended in the form of revenue expenditure. The amount of specified funds, for example, it can be cultural activity or prize awarded fund, tournament funds. Like this, they have a specific funds. Okay, suppose if you take prize awarded funds, means every year, suppose if one particular school is running under charitable trust like NGO, this or not for profit organization, assuming one charitable trust of school, they are rendering the education. So they have kept one certain some funds aside only for the prize distribution. Only for the prize distribution. So once in a year, whatever the activities they have done, all the prizes will be given at the end of the year. So that we call it as prize awarded or prize distribution fund. So they have 10 lakhs in their prize, assuming they have 10 lakhs in the prize distribution fund. Okay, once all the 10 lakhs will not be used at once. Every year, every year they will be having prize distribution, right? So that particular sum amount will be taken for this year and little more it will be taken for the next year. Those particular prize fund will be used only for prize distribution, for every year's prize distribution. If you take tournament example, tournament funds. What is this tournament funds? Once in a year they can conduct a cricket tournament, volleyball tournament, football tournament. Like this, they have so many tournaments, right? So once in a year they conduct one particular tournament. So they kept this particular tournament fund itself as a separate specific funds. Okay, so it is used only for the tournaments happening in the organization. Are you able to follow me? Tournament funds, prize distribution funds, all these are the examples for the specific funds. These are the funds, lump sum amount kept for only that particular specified programs or specified events. Okay, it is a lump sum amount, but when you are spending in the organization, we will spend little when a small amount. So when you are spending, it becomes a revenue expenditure. Whatever the expenses related to the specific funds, whatever the expenditure related to the specific funds will be deducted from the total specific fund. Okay, this specific funds will be appearing in the balance sheet, whereas that particular adjustment will be taken considered when we are entering the balance sheet. Okay, that I'll explain you when I'm teaching the problems. Now this you understood. Specific funds are those funds which are used only for the specified purpose in the organization, and whenever you are using these funds, it will be referred as revenue expenditure. These programs or these funds will be used every year, once in every year. As I have given the example, tournament funds. Okay, every year you may have one or the other tournament. This year you have cricket tournament. Next year you can have football tournament. Okay, so this whatever the tournament fund we have in the organization, out of that we will take some money for this year's cricket tournament, and out of that we will take some money for the next year's football tournament. Understood? This is specifically only for such specified purpose they will be using this specific funds. Got it? And next we have donations. Everyone knows what you mean by donations, right? It is a gifted amount from the volunteer person who is willing to serve the society. So next, under these donations we have two different donations, that is special donations and general donations. Special donations and general donations. Now special donations are nothing but they are given only for the specific purpose. Suppose they want to construct a building, they want to construct a hostel building. As I have given the early example, charitable school is running. In that they want to construct one particular hostel building they want to construct. So whatever the funds they are collecting for that purpose, special purpose is donations. Some donations they are getting only for the construction of hostel. So that becomes the special donation. For this special purpose they will collect, like construction of buildings or construction of some swimming pool in the sports academy. So they have a specific purpose why they need that fund, and that fund is kept only for that particular purpose. So that we call it as special donations. The donations which are collected only for certain specified purpose, and that donations will be used only for that. Okay, so as I told you, for construction of any hostel building, they may ask for donations here and there. With the well-known people, they'll be asking some donations. Whatever the donations they get in the name of constructing the hostel building, they'll use all those funds only for the construction of hostel building. That is a specified or special donation, specified only for construction of building, construction of super swimming pool. Like this we have, or maintenance of a big ground for the sports academy. So for that purpose only they are going to get the donations. That we call it as special donation, when they have the specific or they have particular purpose for what they need the donation. That we call it as special donations. General donations are quite common. Whatever the donations we are getting in general, that we take it as general donations, and these are also capital receipt. Okay, these donations and all we will not get very frequently, right? So these are all we consider as capital receipts. Next we have endowment fund. The next one we have is endowment fund. Endowment fund is nothing but any person voluntarily gifting his property or money for the organization permanently, for the future useful, permanently is giving some particular help to the organization. That we call it as endowment fund. Okay, any person giving voluntarily is giving his money or gifting to the organization his money or property for the permanent solution, for the organization, he can donate. That we call it as endowment fund. Suppose they are giving one big land property, one particular person is giving for the organization, so that they can construct one school or they can construct any orphanage, whatever the requirement they have, they can do that particular development in that area. So any person who is giving voluntarily is gifting his property or his money towards the organization welfare to develop the organization, that we consider as endowment fund. Now you may get a doubt between legacies and endowment fund. Legacies, the person who is about to die, the person who is about to die, or he may be already died but he has written a will, he has done the will saying that particular property goes to the organization. That is happens in legacies. Whereas in endowment, what happens? Any person can give a money or a property gifting to the organization. He is not a deceased person. He is not ill. He is not mentally ill. He is not physically ill. may or may not be, and he is not died also. Okay, it can be any person. They are giving money or property towards the organization as a permanent solution, as a permanent solution or a permanent income. It may generate permanent income for the organization also. So in that way they are helping, that we call it as endowment fund. And next we have life membership fee. So life membership fee is nothing but it is the members who want to, the volunteer person who want to become the members of the organization, they can become the members of that particular organization only through paying certain amount. As I told you before, there is a entry fees, that is a very small amount. We will take it for a temporary entry. But if you want to be in that organization throughout the lifetime, you need to spend lump sum amount over there. You have to pay little more amount, bigger amount to the organization, so that you will become a member of that particular organization. Okay, so that is life membership fee. Okay, so these are the important terminologies that we are going to learn, and while doing the problems also you should know very well all the transactions, which is capital receipt, which is revenue receipt, all those things. That is the main reason I have explained with an example all detailedly. Still, if you have any doubts, please message me in the group so that I can clarify your doubts. Okay, so once again, capital fund, legacies, honorarium, entry fees, specific funds, donations. Again, in donations it is special donation, general donations, endowment fund, and next the last one is life membership fee. So these are the important terminologies. Okay, now just I'll take one example just to classify, which is capital receipt, capital expenditure, revenue receipt, revenue expenditure. Okay, just for to classification we'll take one example. Okay, and before that I want to tell you, in this chapter usually they'll be asking the meaning of honorarium and legacies. Please mark it important. Please mark it important. They'll be asking the meaning of, usually capital fund, honorarium and legacies are both are the common question that we are seeing in every question paper. So kindly note these two meanings are very important. Okay, now I'll just read out certain transaction. Try to identify whether it is a capital receipt or capital expenditure, revenue receipt or revenue expenditure. Okay, so first one is amount spent on a repair to a second hand motor car before it is used. Amount spent on repairs to the second handed motor car before it is used. Means what? You have taken one motor car, you are ready to take one motor car, second handed, not the first handed, second and already used and kept aside. That type of motor car you are taking. Okay, second handed car you are going to purchase, and whatever the repairs it is there, you are spending lot of money on those repairs of that particular car. So now you tell me whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Since I have given expenditure, why means it is already, it is second handed, we are spending money. It is given clearly, amount spent on repairs to the motor car, second handed motor car. Okay, so we are spending money on that second handed motor car. Now you tell me whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Just guess whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. It is a capital expenditure. Okay, why? The vehicles are an asset. Is it right? We will not have purchased the vehicles, whether it is a second handed or the first handed, we will not purchase regularly. Is it right? So when you are taking a second handed, heavy investment will be there, and whatever the repairs expenses you are bearing, all those will become included in the capital expenditure only. Well, you are buying. So it becomes the capital expenditure. Okay. Now one more example I'll give you. Periodical repairs and replacement of plant. Periodical repairs and replacement of plant. Periodical repairs means what? Regularly you have certain repairs in your organization. Certain small repairs here and there will be going on. So what is that? Obviously it becomes the revenue expenditure. Now next, life membership fee received. Life membership fee received. Capital receipt. Yes. Next, prize amount received from a lottery. Prize amount received from a lottery. Every time do you receive a prize from a lottery? And you know, always the prize amount of the lottery will be little bit bigger. So it is capital receipt. And next, honorarium paid to the secretary. Honorarium means we are paying for certain amount, we are paying for the professionals for their service. So it is revenue expenditure. Legacies received. Legacies is a huge amount and you will not receive every frequently. So that is capital receipt. Cost of installation of fans and lights. Cost of installation of fans and lights. So usually when you start off, installation happens only at the beginning of the organization. Okay, so there will be initial investments. That is the initial investments that you are doing. So many expenditure will be there. So many initial expenditures. That is a very big amount you are spending. Installation means whole entire organization you are fitting the lights, tube lights, fans here and there, and it is a quite heavy amount we are spending. So that becomes the capital expenditure. Okay. So like this there will be some examples I have given in the notes also. You can check it out. So this will be asked for 5 marks for practical oriented question. These are the compulsory question in this chapter. 5 mark questions will be asked for practical oriented to classify whether it is revenue expenditure or capital expenditure or revenue receipt or capital receipt. So some of the examples I have given in the notes. If you have any doubts in classifying whether it is revenue or it is capital, if you have any doubts related to that, please let me know. Okay. So if any other doubts, so here comes to the final theory part in this chapter we are completing. In this chapter, theory part is completing. From next class, we will be going through the problems. Okay. Please, meanwhile, before that, please kindly try to identify the transaction which belongs to capital or which belongs to revenue with some more examples. So whatever the notes I have given, go through that. Along with that, I will give 1 or 2 practical oriented questions. You have to classify and solve the problems. Okay. Thank you. Stay safe and stay happily. Stay healthy. Thank you. See you in the next class, kids.